Mike? Yeah, we got Mike. Okay, cool. Okay, so greetings. We got 2 minutes here before we start. I'm in a weird position where it's either too cold or too warm in here, so let's give me a second there. There we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna play a little bit of I'm gonna play some Upfront here tonight. So Upfront is a card game made by Avalon Hill. It is the squad leader card game. I don't love I don't necessarily love the size of these cards versus the screen, unfortunately. We'll try to make it work and try to get you visible, but a lot of that screen is going to be about that distance. So keep that in mind. I don't know. Hopefully that won't. I don't know if you can read anything on these cards at that distance. I can obviously use this to make them more readable. So we'll have to work with that. So this is the squad leader card game. It has a lot of the same. The idea of this game was to create essentially the same vibe as a game of squad leader in terms of the back and forth of the firefights that would occur in squad leader, but to be more accessible than squad leader, and of course, especially advanced squad leader, which has what, like an 800-page rule book or something, and I'm not even sure that I'm exaggerating or joking. I think that might actually be the page count of the rules. So the idea is that we can have dudes with different equipment, and we can have machine guns, and we can have AFVs and mines and barbed wire and terrain and movement, and all of those things we can have in a hex encounter game without a hex encounter game. And that's what Upfront is. So I've got the 36-page rulebook here, of which we're using about 11 of those pages is what you can read up to before you get to the first scenario that you can play, scenario A. That is a meeting of patrols. There's not really many rules to the meeting patrols here. It's the Germans versus either the Russian or Americans. We picked the Russians just arbitrarily. Remove the first 5 buildings to be discarded, unused, or as a RPC RNC draw, so a random number draw. So we'll just, as we get buildings, we will discard them. Pillbox and minefields don't count. They're treated as cower cards. The first player to have at least 4 unpinned personality cards in one or more non-infiltrated groups at range chit 4 occupying any terrain card, which will reduce the fire, is the winner. So you have to advance 4 times to a piece of terrain, at least 4 personality cards in one or more non-infiltrated groups at range chit 4. So the Germans seem to be here at a little bit of a disadvantage. Maybe I need to swap them out here. Maybe actually they only have 2 groups, right? Maybe that's sort of how we do this. So I laid them out sort of arbitrarily, to be honest, just to make a 3 wide front. But yeah, it does truly seem like the Germans can't win this scenario in this case. In the sense that they would need to move 2 of these groups up. So maybe, just maybe, maybe we put that guy here, and I don't think there's necessarily, oh geez, and now we have some weird grid thing going on. I do hate, why is there an arbitrary grid here? I do not know. Maybe I make 2 groups of 5 for the Germans' 10 guys and do that instead. Are there snap points down here? Oh, I see. Okay, well, that's a problem. Yeah, so that is indeed Indeed, my fault. So what I'll do is I'm going to actually move them over here. Yeah, okay, hold on. Hold the hell on. All right. This is going well already. Yeah, there is strangely not as quite as much table space as I need. And I sort of need the tables. So I'm going to make 2 groups. I don't know that there's really arbitrarily any reason why I have to have groups A and B as opposed to groups B and C, but we're going to make that happen just like that. And now where's my cards? Okay, there we go. I think that's good enough. So we're going to make 2 German groups, group A and B. We're going to have 3 Russian groups, groups A, B, and C. The Russians have the advantage in numbers, 15 to 10. They have generally crappier troops with crappier rifles than the Germans. So Group C doesn't exist over here. We can just largely move that off there and get rid of that. Done. We will talk about these cards here in a moment. So, and now down here at the bottom, I sort of made a little play area for the two cards, the 2 groups of cards, just so I could have them out and see them and so on. So we're going to set up here. The first thing we do is we are going to shuffle the action deck now, and we deal cards to each player. The Russians get 4 cards, so you can see on their deck they have 4 cards. They may discard them all if they don't do anything in a given turn. The Germans have 5 cards. They can discard 1 card every turn, no matter what happens. Let's shuffle and deal. And this is why I sort of have a space problem, is I made this nice little space. Not exactly 1,000% even, but I'm going to live with that. So first thing is first, both sides can place terrain. The Germans are first. This building is discarded, so that's one of the 5 buildings. So I'm going to put that up there. And that's what they have. Ooh, woods. Woods is a great start. So they're going to play that terrain on themselves right there on Group A. Group A will start in the woods. Done. You'll notice the Russians have nothing. So they don't have any terrain to play. And so they will start with no terrain. And that's actually it. The Germans can redraw up to their hand strength. And that is, strangely enough, the setup. You get your guys, you place them in 1 to 3 or more groups. Sure, I think this is fine. And yeah, I think that's it. I think we're actually ready to go. Uh, 2 to 10 cards each, yeah. 2 to 4 groups of 2 to 10 cards. Done. You may not leave gaps in your setup. Good enough. Okay. So, the Germans will play first because they are the first players. So what I'm going to do each time is I'm going to flip their cards just like that. And so you'll see the things that the Germans can do on a turn. Pretty much there's only 5 actions in the whole game. You can move, fire, rally. So the 3 things, we see the 3 cards here. You can attempt to infiltrate a position or enter close combat, which we cannot do in this scenario because we're only playing with the first 11 pages. You can alter the composition of a group by moving individuals between them, etc. That's about it. So this game is going to be fairly straightforward because we're only playing with a small subset of the rules. You can do one action per group, so the Germans really can only do two things at once here. So that would be the disadvantage of them playing like they did. Now, the other way probably to play this, to be honest, would be to do 4 and 4. And then like 2 in the middle, right? And then try to aggressively push forward with both sides. But we'll stick with this. We'll stick with the slightly asymmetrical sort of thing going on here. So, let's take a look real quick at, this is pretty easy. So, although my suspicion is we're going to move this turn, but let's take a quick look at fire to understand sort of the mechanics of that to see if that's an option. So you'll see our fire card here. The strength of the fire card is up top, so this is a 4-strength fire card. It requires 7 firepower to use. Everything else on this card, pretty much, is random number generator. Ignore it for now. These two numbers are the key numbers. So we can count a group's firepower and go, okay, this group has a firepower of, we look at the range. So relative range is sort of a weird thing. But think of it this way. The higher the relative range, the closer you are. So I'm going to mentally call it proximity, and sometimes I might even call it proximity. Their proximity is 0. They are as far away from each other as you're going to get on the map. To figure out how close they are, you add the relative range of any other group on the map. So 1 and 1 is 2. It goes up until 5, and then once you go to 5, it goes down. So literally the answer is you add up the numbers and how far away are you from 5. That's how close you are. So for it, well, I shouldn't say that. For instance, if your relative range adds up to 6, then your actual range, if your position should add up to 6, then your relative range is 4. If they add up to 4, your range is 4. If they add up to 5, your range is 5. Add up to 2, your range is 2. Add up to 7, and your range is 3. So once you get to 5, you max out, and then it goes down again. The higher the number, the closer you are, with 5 being the max. So you'll see here our range is 0. So if I look at the range of 0, I will see that this guy here, Private Wolf, with a bolt-action rifle, has a firepower of 0. He adds 0 to the relative power of these guys. Same thing here, 0, 0. Well, I shouldn't say that. We'll ignore these two for now. Ignore these guys. Private Beck and Private Schussel are crewing the machine gun together. He doesn't add anything at all because he is feeding ammunition to him. Corporal Hessel here has 0. These guys together provide a firepower of 4 total. Because the weapon is crewed fully, they get the big number. If the weapon was half crewed, in other words, this guy was dead or was panicked or something, then Private PFC Schussel here could fire the gun by himself, but he would do it at the bracketed lower half value. So, as you can see, the most they can generate is 4. So they cannot play a fire card right now because none of these fire cards are 4 or less. They're stuck. Rallying is pointless. The only thing they can do is move. Moving halves your firepower. It also gives the enemy a +1 to hit you when they do fire back at you. You can move forward by placing the move card like this. You can move backwards by flipping it. That's how she rolls. So what we're going to do is our goal is going to try to, we should have put these guys in the middle in the number 2, in the 2. That's what we should have done. What we're going to do instead, though, is we're going to march these guys up. So these guys start moving. So they place a movement card in front of them, and that movement card will stay in front of them for now. Then we flip this to 1. They're done. I can play no more cards this turn. I'm going to keep my rally. I'm going to ditch my highest fire card because I'm not going to be able to play that, is my guess. The 13 firepower in a while. The Germans can discard 1 card at the end of every turn. They are done. So we're going to flip these. And the reason I flip them is so that my bad memory sort of plays for me a little bit. And I can play both sides without cheating and knowing, oh man, this guy has a fire card. He's going to kill me as soon as I march up. So let's see what the Russians have going. Flip. The Russians can lay smoke. Yeah, you need an unpinned, I think, a squad leader, which I think mean they have, but they don't want to lay smoke yet. They do have some low firepower cards, but as you will see, the Russian firepower is pretty shitty. These guns are, these bolt action rifles are worse than the German bolt action rifles. Having said that, they could lay some fire down because they probably have 2 firepower to lay down. Oops, no, don't do that. So if we played this card, the range is 1. This machine gun would get a 4 firepower and give them enough to fire into this group, which just moved. So we're going to do that. So we're going to lay down a fire card. And what that means is that we bring this team under fire here at a range of 1. Long range shot for sure. But let's see if we can make something happen. So, how do you resolve fire? Once you determine you have enough firepower, which we do, because we have 4 right here. These 2 are crewing the gun. That's what this chip means. And when you crew the gun, the helper, the assistant here, the loader doesn't produce any firepower of his own. So Sergeant Burlak, Junior Sergeant Burlak, will lay into the Germans marching across open terrain. So what we do is we're going to draw now 5 cards, 1 for every German soldier in the opposing squad. And what we're going to do is we are going to, so the fire strength is 2, +1 because they're moving is 3. There's no modifier for terrain. So we take 3 and we add the number on the top right-hand corner of this fire card, -2 because it's red. So that is a 1, and now we compare it to these values at the bottom. Since it is less than the morale and less than his KIA, nothing happens. So that was a 1. That's a 1. Remember, it's 3 plus whatever's on the card. That's a negative something or another. Ooh, that is a 3, 4, 5. It's higher than his morale, but less than his KIA. So, Private Beck here is pinned. So he is pinned. If he gets shot again, we have to then check to see if he panics out of the game and is eliminated. So that is that guy. And then finally, 0. So 2. Don't worry about anything else on the card. When you're drawing for a random number, you just look at the number on the top right. So that's a 2. So, strangely enough, they didn't like kill a bunch of dudes or whatever, but they did manage to pin one of the Germans and reduce the effectiveness greatly of the machine gun. So that's actually okay. Now, because the Russians fired, they cannot discard like the Germans can. Every team, every nationality has its own rules for discarding. The Germans can discard one no matter what they do. The Russians can only discard, they can discard their whole hand if they do nothing else that turn. Some cards can only be played as a discard, meaning you have to meet your discard rules to play them. So we'll talk about those in a bit. And now we're going to flip these cards. And now it is the Germans' turn to act. Oh, I should have. Okay, I didn't do that, and it wouldn't have mattered anyway. This concealed. I'm sorry. If I'd have known that card was there, you can play it. As soon as someone fires at you, you can play the concealed card. That gives a -1 to their fire. Oh, I don't like this at all. What we're gonna do? Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna rally. So we will. Oops, geez, I keep forgetting I have all the cards sort of done here. We're going to rally. We can rally up to 4 folks. We're going to rally him. Done. And he is back in action. So pretty straightforward there. I'm going to ditch this fire card because I can as the Germans. I will draw my card. So brush is good and concealed 3 is really good. But what we really want to get is some movement going. And it's back to the Russians. Remember, the Russians can discard their whole hand if necessary. Now, these guys on the flank here, not getting in here at all. I am going to... I'm going to discard these cards. I'm going to keep these 2 fires. That's what we want. We want some movement, maybe. A rally might be okay, too. German turning. This is literally how the game goes. Like, this is how it is. You cannot play terrain, except in the beginning, without a movement. So we need to get a movement card so we can get our guys to the brush. I'm not going to be able to fire. Well, let's see. I might be able to fire, actually. Well, keep in mind, we are moving. And so our firepower is halved. So he is 0, 0. He is a 2. These guys together are 2. So the most we can do is 2 firepower. Because you round, everybody's firepower is halved when you are moving, and you round down. So half. I think he gets to do the low 2, I think. So not great. I am going to discard. I need to really fix myself there. I'm going to discard the low concealed and then draw a stream. That's fine. But we do have a movement. Right. So, okay, the Russians have a little bit of a positional advantage here. So we are definitely going to move these folks up and give these guys something to think about. So maybe we should have put someone on the flank and committed to move, like put 3 guys on each flank and then just committed to moving this group up as hard as possible. I don't like that with the machine gun group. That seems awkward, but he's moving up. These guys are considered adjacent to each other, so there's no range difference or whatever. These guys' range is 2. These guys' range is 1. These guys' range is considered 0 because you subtract 1 if you're not adjacent. So the Russians will move that one group. I don't think they can fire again, though, because their max firepower they can pull is 4. So I think we're going to ditch the rest of that. As I can see, that's another smoke. It's lame. Okay. German turn. Oh. So I think so the stream is interesting. You can play the stream on your opponent because that terrain is shitty. Right. So we're going to discard. Well, so the Germans can discard 1. This is played as a discard. I don't think we can... we are moving. Brush. Done. So, because we are moving, we can now play a brush, right? You can play a terrain card on top of a movement card, which discards the movement card. In other words, we reached the brush. So now we're in the brush. That's good, because that gives us a -1 to be hit. We do not have our firepower halved anymore, so that is indeed good for them. What we're going to do now is, as our discard, we're going to discard the stream on top of their movement card. So now we discard their movement. They cannot, when you play terrain on an opponent, they have the option typically of discarding it and saying, no, I want to move around that hill or around those trees. You cannot discard a stream. You cannot move around it or forfeit its movement card. Done. So they are in a stream. The stream gives a -1 to their movement or their fire. That's what this means, the little circle thing. -1 to them. You can only ford the stream. Fording is the sole action of a group for that player. Consists of playing a movement card sideways, and you have to play a ford movement card. If fording is attempted with another movement card, it is only successful if you draw a black random number when played. Right. Okay. So we'll be looking either for a forward card or a movement card, but currently they're stuck in that stream. They cannot advance any further. So the Germans played and they discarded. They get 2 extra cards now. Good. The moving is good. Like, you want movement cards. Okay. I am very, very... I think I want to discard this. I want to discard my hand and get a new hand here as the Russians. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to at least see if I have a conceal. I have a gully, a stream. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But now it's the Germans' turn. So the Germans... So now we have a range of 2. So this guy would be 1, 2, 8, 8. Our firepower is 8. So we can lay into, I'm going to do that 1,000 times. So we can lay into this group here with a fire 4, and it's a 4. Yeah, just a 4. Nonetheless, it's a 4. That's not terrible at this range. So I don't think we have any concealment cards. We do not. And so now we got to start drawing cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 cards. So let's go. We'll go one at a time here. First will be Private Kaznikov. And it is 4. Let's see here. So it's 4 -1 is 3. Unfortunately, Kvasnikov, Private Kvasnikov, a 3 is going to pin him. Next guy is a 4. -2 is 2. That does not pin the next private. 4, 0 is 4. That Private Zayakov pin. And then finally, buildings. Buildings is discarded. We draw one more. 5. What is a 5? That's going to pin. Oh, Private Zarahov is actually pretty good. And he is pinned, though. So, wow, they, with some hardcore machine gun fire, they pinned the hell out of that squad. That's their turn. That action. I feel we're going to move this group forward. So this group moves out of the woods. Now you keep the woods. You keep the woods. Your second movement card, or I believe your next terrain card, I believe. Yes. So both of these count. So we are now moving. We up our range, which really means we up our closeness. We advance. How's that? Let's just say that. So those are our two plays done. You can only play one card per group anyway. This card is split. It can be used as a movement for, you'll see this the symbols here, the Russians and the Germans. It is a cower card for the Americans. Cower cards are just nothing burgers. You just discard them later. They do nothing. All right, the Russians. I don't love any of this. I think is wire, pillbox, and minefield. So wire we can play. You can play wire. Wire. A wire card can be played on an opposing group in lieu of a discard. There you go. So it's like terrain. It cannot be played on a movement card. Rather, it has to be played directly on top of a terrain card. Artificial terrain cannot be rejected. I can play other types of terrain, but not, yeah. Hey, what's up, Alfred? Oh, still a brilliant game. Always like Tank Duel. Feel a lot like modernized and tank-friendly update. I've never seen Tank Duel. Sort of interested in this game. I don't know anything about this game. I read the rules. I played one test with like the most basic stuff. I'm going to fumble through this and totally mess it up. What I like about this, so the Russians are playing. I'll try to remember that. What I like about this and what drew me to it is I always loved the idea of how do you abstract. So I play a lot of role-playing games tabletop, and when you're playing like something modern or futuristic and you have ranged combat, so much of that ranged combat occurs at ranges where like a lot of modern firefights never happen in a military engagement. Yeah, in a street fight or something, yes, people are in other sides of an alley and missing each other, right? But I always wondered, is there a good way to simulate that kind of long distance engagement without necessarily having to have a gigantic map, because that seems, right? So sort of unfun. This does an interesting job. The way it abstracts movement and the way that it handles terrain and stuff is sort of okay. It does actually a really good job. So the Russians can play wire, for instance, on their brush, but they cannot play wire on the group moving out of the woods. As a discard, so they would have to discard instead of doing a thing. Now, they don't have any movement, so yeah. And the only fire they have requires 11 firepower, which I don't think they have even close to. I do like the Gully card, having said that. Gully is nice if you want to be able to slink up, and make a move forward, because you are not able to be fired on unless the enemy has a hill or a sniper. So I think what we're going to do is, as a discard, so we're going to discard the stream, and we're going to discard the fire, and we're going to discard the wire onto their brush. Now, does that harm their movement at all? Open ground may be placed beneath a wire or smoke card and above a movement card. Right, so it takes 2 to move out of a marsh. No, how do we get out of a damn wire? That's what I want to know. How do we get out of wire? Sorry, I apologize that you are now stuck watching me try this here. Removal. A wire card is removed as soon as a movement card is played. Done. However, a movement card is also removed, and it does not change the relative range or anything like that. So largely comes down to you have to move to get rid of this wire. So they essentially find themselves tangled up in wire in that brush and are now unable to get out of it. Now we got some moves for our Russians and a conceal. So we're going to flip them. The Germans now have to play. Okay. I'm not super excited about the what do we got here? So we do have a movement, and we can play this movement and get ourselves out of here. I don't know that I necessarily want to charge forward more. I have a fire, but I need to get them sort of settled in a terrain before I then open fire over here. I'm going to say we're going to take this movement card and discard this wire. But that's their action. And then I'm going to discard this rally 1 because I have a rally 5. So those are my discards. Let's get 2 more cards. Oh, we have a wall and a rally 2. Yeah, I could really use. Well, I mean, we can lay down some fire here. We could really use a rally. Did we have a rally and we discarded it for the Russians? I don't remember. That's the problem with me playing the cards down here, is that I also should see what's going on up there. So we have a movement, but these guys are pinned. So we are sort of stuck there until we can figure out how to get them dealt. And this is a conceal card, not a rally card, because there's a split here, and you can see the Russian red star over here. We could move forward, and then next turn jump into the gully. It's a smoke for the Americans, but a move for everybody else. The only problem with being in the gully over here is I really need to, these guys need help. Like, they need pressure. I don't have any fire cards. Let me do this. Let me move. So I'm going to move forward with them. But I think that's it. I could move forward with these guys too and go nuts, but I don't necessarily know that charging the machine gun nest is the way to go. Or should it? It's not a nest, but you know what I mean. We do have a concealment, which we should play if fired upon. We're gonna go for it. Let's go. We're all in. We're moving. Move. Rally 1 doesn't suck, but boy, I could really use like a big old rally here. So what do we got? So we are moving out of the woods. And I think we can play a terrain directly on our move. and then get rid of the other terrain, right? I don't think we need to do 2. Let me see real quick. Come on. Move. There we go. Okay. Movement cards change the distance. Movement is accomplished playing movement. Okay, done. But what I'm asking is, can I play the wall? Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to play wall here. So these guys are going to discard these boys. So they run up from the woods to behind that wall. That is their move. Let's see if we can lay down some fire here. Actually, both these groups would be fine. Or we could see if we could just wipe this crew out, since they seem to be sort of stuck at the stream. Let's count it up. So relative range here is 2. That's 1, 2, 8. So that's 8 firepower. So we could do a fire 3 there. I'm sure we could do a fire 3 here. Here would only be 5, 6, 7. You can still do. Yeah, you can still do this and play straight across as well. Oh, and this actually went up. I'm sorry. So it's 8 because right, I didn't flip that when they went. So I mean, we should make them pay. Should make them pay. So we're going to do a fire 3 against Group B. It's actually a fire 4 because it's +1. Done. The Russians have a conceal. I think this is it. They're going to play it. So that becomes a fire 3 again. Because I think it's a conceal -1. So it's a fire 3 total. And let's draw for the 6 Russians. So we're going to draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So remember that the number is 3. Russian number 1, it's 3. He is fine. Russian 2 here. Ooh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is almost killed, but he is not killed. Instead, he is pinned. 3 is still enough to pin him. 0, 3. Is that enough to pin? Is it equal to or greater than or greater than? Equal to or greater than. The personality card is pin. Oh no, let me see. If the personality card has a morale value less than or equal to the final combat resolution number, you are pinned. Done. All right, so pin. Nope, not pinned. And not pinned. So these cards go away also. We are going to discard Rally 2, draw 3. We played a concealment, so we don't get to draw any more there. We're going to. You can draw at the end. We're going to rally 1 over here. to get him rallied. And that is his turn, that group's turn. These guys jump in the gully, so they can no longer be shot at unless you're in a hill. These guys could fire one if they could muster one firepower, but everybody else is active. So I think we are done. So now we have 1 card, 2 cards, and 3 cards. Pop. And now it's the German turn. Oh, buildings. I think that's our 3rd building. So the 3rd card. There we go. So we're behind cover. It's pretty good cover, actually. I mean, I say we got to keep the pressure up. So I say we're going to fire again. And we might as well fire into this group. See if we can't keep their machine gun pin, since that's the most dangerous piece of equipment they have over there. We definitely have the 5 firepower, so we do get a fire 3. I don't know that the Russians have anything they can play against it. They cannot. So once again, can I do this? Hold on. Is this going to work? If I just do 6, do I get 6 cards? I do get 6 cards, but they're in my hand, which I hate. Oh, I don't like that at all. Okay, that just went awry. Sorry. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to flip them and shuffle them. And now we're going to draw them. Our fire strength is 3. Plus 1 is 4. 4 will pin him. 4 will pin him. Oh, geez. Whoop, that's a buildings card, so that goes away. So we draw another one. Oh, geez. Okay. I have grossly lost track of where my deck went. So we've pinned and pinned. Only have 2 cards there. Oh, Jesus. Vaguely embarrassing. I think I tossed something. No, that's that. That's that. Is it down here? No, that is a single card that I just drew for this. I think I discarded the whole deck. Okay. Let me start there. I'm sorry, this is bad. I'm going to toss those. I need 6 cards for the fire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to take these and put these here. Where the hell did they go? Anyway, there you go. Professional shit here. I know what I'm doing. Honest. Our fire strength is 4. 1 because they're moving. 3 because my fire card is a 3. First guy. Oh, that's even worse. That is a 4 plus 5 is 9, and Sergeant Rostov gets killed. Not just pinned this time. Okay, boy, do I ascend. I wish you could turn that shit up. We're just going to knock him to the side. That is 1. 2, 4, minus 6. He's fine. 0, fine. 1, fine. 4, he's fine. 4, he is fine. So 1 killed. One pinned, everybody else is good. This fire card goes away. So that was this group. I don't think anybody else has anything. The Germans are going to discard. They're feeling pretty good. I'm going to discard this. Draw 2 here. And done. Okay. It's looking bad for... It's looking not great for our guys. The nice thing is we can fire back with this card if we want to. I do not have anything else going for me at the moment. I'm going to sneak... Oops. I'm going to sneak this group up in the gully, but that doesn't erase the gully. What it does do is kill this movement card, and that movement card should go away instantly. As soon as we play a terrain over it, the movement goes away. So they're going to move up in the gully, and I need a 2. So they edge up quietly in the gully. I think the sniper is played as a discard. So I would have to do nothing. So instead I'm going to play this fire from this group with their fire halved. I think they still get a 1. Or do they? Or is the fire also halved? Because I know that firepower is halved. Oh, that is also halved. So that's not great. So their firepower is halved and their fire strength. So they are not going to return fire. Okay, that might change my disposition a little bit here in the future. I should have probably not done what I did. I think the sniper is a discard. Yeah, play as a discard. So we are done there. The Germans have the wall and the brush. They're actually in pretty good shape. Oh my god, they can just keep pelting these guys. These guys were obviously caught in the open. I think they have enough firepower to do it. Their relative range is 2. So that is a 6, 7, 8. That's enough. Our fire is 2 against Group B. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So target 1. Oh my lord. So fire 2 is actually fire 3 because they're moving. That's an 8? No, 9. Oh my god! So they just took the machine gun route. Okay, well this combat is mostly 1, if I'm to be honest. That's 1. 2 is a 0, so that is a 3. So he is going to panic and be removed. Anyway. And he either routes on a... You have to check the other number. 2 plus 1 is 3. He's fine-ish. Fine. And 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 2. These guys are flipped. So this squad is being cut down. And for giggles, the Germans will discard. Well, yeah, they can discard. They can discard one. We should shoot over here. Let's read the sniper real quick. I think I remember how to play the sniper. We play him as a discard, and the Germans can discard one every turn. Draw an RNC compared to the K and pin values on the sniper card. No significance to the color drawn. And then I think you randomly determine. Oh, no, you do not randomly determine. Nope, RPC draw. Done. Yep, we get an RPC draw. So in a 5-man group, the RPC draw says attack position 1. So that is this guy. So position 1, we draw a card. We're looking for a 4 through 6. We don't get it. And we are done there. And I don't think the sniper's killed on some weird draw. You have to excuse my reliance on the rules here. Oh, okay. So we can do a sniper check now. So now these guys can draw, and if they draw a black number that is higher than the number he drew, which they did not, that means the sniper is killed, and they can no longer play snipers for the rest of the scenario. But the sniper is not killed. And so that is the German turn. Man, we get all the terrain here, is the Germans. The Germans are getting all the terrain. The Russians need something. I mean, they have a sniper, so we're gonna play the damn sniper as a discard. So there you go. So we're gonna discard this fire and this sniper on this group. We are going to attack a 5-man group. It is position 3, 1, 2, 3. So it looks like the machine gunner gets sniped, and we're looking for a high draw here. Doesn't matter what the number is. It's a 4, so he is pinned. That's not bad for the Germans. We need that guy pinned. He's been mulling us. Or not the Germans, but the Russians. The Russians need them because he's been gunning them down. That middle group is just miserable. So that is done. These guys now get a sniper check. And we drew a 4. So he needs a black 4. No, he doesn't get it. So all the snipers are still in play for both sides. And we're going to draw 2 cards. Oh, that might not be bad. I'll check out what the hero does here. But we do need to, yeah. I think weapon acquisition. So I think picking up the guns on the ground, like the machine gun, effectively. Yeah, I think that's later in the rules. That's not what I'm doing right now. Yeah, so we're going to assume all that gear is lost at the moment. German turn. We cannot move this group. We can rally them, but man, a rally 5 is a lot of rally. I think we're going to do it because we might as well press our advantage. So we are going to rally, and that's this guy's rallied. So we are done with this group here, Group B. Group A, they can't fire on us either. So we are going to play a movement as we head forward as we advance. I don't think we're going to discard any terrain. I think we're good for now. Oof, a lot of concealed, a lot of garbage there. It's not garbage, but it's just not super useful at the moment. But we do have a relative range 3 over here. We have a relative range 4 here, but these guys are in the gully. Relative range 3 actually gives us 2 firepower. Strange. Well, not quite. 1 firepower, because we are still moving. Do we have a damn... we do not have a flippin'... I have a terrain card. I can play... Oh, you know what? I can play open terrain. I could stop them moving. So that's something I should consider. Just get them, like, not moving. Might be a good... So I forgot about that a little bit. I will definitely have to play this again at some point. Hero card. Rally 1 man and doesn't count as an action. Use to double the firepower of 1 man for the turn. Let's see. I mean... But they can't move until they're not pinned, right? So I am sort of stuck. You may usually play... You may play a terrain card over an already placed movement card. You may not play a movement card, but you may, usually it says. Well, that's not super helpful, but that's okay. Okay, but let's assume that usually means we can. So we could technically play an open card to get them to stop moving. Now, I don't know that that helps us. We could really use some rallying. Like, this group's been pinned forever. And this game's really about the, it's about the action economy of the deck, right? In the sense that you have a hand and you go, shit, I have no movement cards, or I have no terrain, or I have no... And so you are sort of weirdly stuck. Now, I'm going to keep this concealed card for sure. I'm going to use this hero card to rally, let's say, this guy. Just for free. He's rallied. I am going to... Ugh. I mean, just the... get it... I am going to play this here as open terrain and get rid of that movement. So they're no longer moving. Just because. I'm going to... get these guys out of the gully, because I think 2 consecutive moves gets them out of the gully. Let's look at the card real quick. Exit 2 moves or move in terrain. Done. So he is out of the gully as of right now. And I think yeah, so and these two cards go away. So they are just moving now instead. And that's it. So we'll take 1, 2, 3. I don't know if that was a good move or bad move, but such is life. The Germans get to go. Now the Germans have nothing to play. It's like, come on, guys. Yeah, I have a crap load of nothing to play. I am going to discard Smoke. And I have literally all the terrain cards. Russians. Is there even a group that can muster 7 firepower? I think these guys can. Except, no, it's halved now. So that's an issue. I'm going to play open terrain. Oh, they moved, right? So that movement did get them out, right? Yeah, so they're at a 3. So they're on top of these guys right now. So I'm going to play this to put us in open terrain. So that's them. I'm going to hold this concealed card. I need a rally. Nope, I'm not going to get a rally. I'm going to get concealed again. The Germans are looking to open up, but they cannot open up here. They got nothing. What I think I'm going to do, though, is I am going to put these guys in a woods. And they stop moving. And we have a concealed 3, so that's sort of cool. I'm going to discard the hill. That's my 1 discard. And now we'll take these 2 cards. It's another flip and conceal. All right. Can the Russians... I mean, they definitely have firepower. But it's only a fire 2. So we're not talking a lot of... And that would be 0 or 1 over here. Do we have... We have no... Ugh, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. Let's fire. We will. We're going to fire here into this group. It's a 2 minus 2 is 0. I think the Germans are going to play concealed minus 1. We're going to go light and airy. So that makes this a minus 1. We'll take 5 cards for the deck here. And minus 1, first guy, 0, nothing. Second guy, minus 4 is nothing. Minus 1, minus 1, 2, still a miss. So that fire was useless on the Germans. Nonetheless, oh my God. What is going on? The Germans' turn. Well, can we generate 12 firepower against this group? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 and 7, 14. We absolutely can generate 12 firepower. So we're going to lay into them with the machine gun. They're going to play a concealed. So it's fire 4. Fire 4 minus 2. So it's fire 2. And we need 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it's fire strength 2. Two is minus 2 is a 0. Minus 3 is -1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Pin. 2 plus 0 is 2. Nothing. 2 plus 0 is nothing. But we did pin one guy. The Germans will not discard. And we'll just draw 2. Well, we got a movement. We played a conceal, so we don't get a bunch of crap here. Oh God, we are hosed a bit. I can't play a move. Everybody is pinned. Every squad is pinned. I'm going to discard the -1. I'm going to discard the movement. I'm going to keep the -2. I'm going to draw 3 cards. I'm hoping for some kind of rally. No. No. Seems like no. Okay, the Germans go. And we're looking to lay into them. But that doesn't happen. I'm going to discard a concealed since we seem to be winning. I'm going to discard a rally. Oh, we can only discard 1. We're the Germans. We're not the whatchamacalls. Let's discard rally 1. No, we at least got 1 fire. All right. Nothing. Keeping the concealeds. Dropping everything else. Nope, that ain't it. Sorry. Okay. I mean, sure. Well, you know what? No. We're going to press the advantage a little bit here. So we are going to start moving out of the brush. That's going to give us a 2. And we are walking. These boots are made for it. We're going to fire here. We can definitely get the 4 firepower. It's only a fire 1. Having said that, I don't think the Russians are super interested in taking more shots, so we'll make this a fire 0 with more concealment since we've got it. So that's a 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to see some big numbers is my fear. Number 1, 0 plus 0, 0. 0 minus 5. 0 plus 5. Our buddy is panicked. And he runs out of there. I'm not worried about Berserk or anything. We just take him. Done. Got 2 more cards. 0 minus 2. 0 minus 1. So that was that little mess. I think we're good. Oh, God. What is with the concealed? I mean, we're going to have to fire. We're going to fire over here into the machine gunner group. It's a 1 strength. The Germans, again, don't. They're going to play a -3 to drop that to -2. But it is +1, so it's -1. So it's a -1 on 5 cards. -1 on 5 cards. Oop, let's drag it down here. -1. 1, that's a 0. 2, nope, -1. Nope, -1. 0. Well, no, there's the buildings. So I don't think we have 5 of them yet. Oh, we have 8 of them? Oh, that's, by the way, this is where my whatchamacall went. Just so you know. Yeah, okay. The cards I lost were right there. So there's my 5th buildings card. So let's draw another card. That's the 6 buildings card. But I do not think, I think that's still a 0. And a 6. Holy crap. So -1. So he, the squad leader here is actually pinned. The Germans are going now. They played a concealment, so they don't get a card yet. All they got is a movement. And they keep moving? Like, is that okay? I think at that point they're out of the brush, right? Yeah, the second movement kills the brush. Like, you're done. We could get to 3. We have a wall, so we could, if we don't take, so now we're up to 3. So the brush goes away. The 2 moves count. So we have 2 movement played. We are running. Oh, we can't play a movement. Womp womp. We got to pin the dude. Ah, I see that. Okay. So we were moving. We are now pinned. I'm going to play open terrain. So I'll play it like this. And get these guys, they drop to the ground effectively. And that is it for now. We literally have drawn all terrain for the Germans. And no rallies. We got no rallying at all. So what's the victory condition? The victory condition is the first player to have 4 unpinned personality cards in 1 or more non-infiltrated groups at range 4, occupying a terrain card which reduces fire. So we're going to play a movement here. And we're going to go to 4. So we charge ahead. We'll see how that goes. I cannot generate goddamn any other thing. I got a concealed 2, though. We're going to have to use that when they try to gun that group down, because they should. They will. But now the Germans go. And the Germans don't have a card. They don't have anything. They got nothing. They can't move this. They are... I'm going to discard the brush and draw that. I got more brush. I literally drew more terrain. And then it's up to the Russians, and I think the Russians are going to play brush and win the game. Because they have 4 dudes at range 4, and they just jumped into terrain that reduces incoming fire. They actually, I think they won. I don't know how. Because they were sort of getting their butt kicked a little bit. But it just so happened that at the end, you know, they could move these guys up the gully and then actually got them moved. And strangely enough, it was good that one guy got shot and killed and panicked because he left them. And then the Germans ran into only drawing terrain effectively for X amount of time. I don't know how I feel about that game. Like, I don't know how I feel about how that went. Do not know. I like that the turns are quick, so that feels good about it. Like, the turns move by pretty snappy. So I think that is sort of cool. I think it does give sort of a neat back and forth. And strangely enough, the movement rules weirdly make sense. Like, it makes sense that you are, you know, you play a movement, then you play a terrain, and so on. That you just keep moving from terrain to movement to terrain to movement to terrain to movement. I say we do it again, but let's just load this up. So originally I had this but I didn't realize that you needed 4 people to make it. And the Germans only have 10 folks. So they have sort of a really clunky, in terms of the victory condition. I want to drop those in there and shuffle the whole thing. Now, did I put the bits down? I did not put the bits down. See, that sucks. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. So I would like to move these just up a bit to there. There we go. And what I want to do is I want to make this a view. Let's do 2. And then down here, we're going to put 1, 2. Now, let's see how those cards actually lay. That's too close. That one is no bueno. Let's move that over here, the tiniest bit, and then we'll drop that card again. That's a little bit. And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, whoa. No good. Hold on. This one goes over the tiniest bit, over, and over there. It's a little bit better. I can live with it. So I wonder what a good placement for the Germans actually is. You know what I mean? Like, what is actually a good, like, how do the Germans, because at this rate, they only have one group that can even win the game for them, and that's the middle group, which my guess is not the way, really. 2 to 4 groups of 2 to 10 cards each. And the one thing about having a big group is you just draw as many fire cards as are in the group. And so every guy has a chance to get hit. So it's not like having a group of 10 is by default weaker than a group of 5 on the defense. More powerful on the offense, of course. So yeah, I'm almost wondering, like, if you go like this, if this is your arrangement, you can't really win. I don't know that you can win like this. You would have to move your group up or move both groups up. Like, you have to win on both sides, which maybe that is okay, but that just seems like a lot of cards that you are trying to play to get up there. Doesn't seem like a winner. And the machine guns did their job. The machine gun in the last scenario did its job. Like, it cut down. These two groups were sort of stuck, and it was this group that made all the motion. And so that's sort of another question: is was that just bad play on my part from the Germans? Did they need to, you effectively need to keep everyone pinned at all times, sort of, because there are a lot of Russians. As I imagine you would be saying if you were a German soldier, that's a lot of Russians. That's what's going on over there. Yeah, I don't, I don't think this is. I don't like how this. Let's 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 run like this, with the understanding that I'm not sure there's any way for the Germans to win like this. I want this to be camera 1. But let's run like this. And what we'll try to do is we will try to just hold these guys off with our machine gun crew here. And then largely try to cut these guys down to size and then let these guys sweep up on each side. But that seems like a lot of cards to have to play. So Germans, terrain. Buildings, we have 5 buildings to discard. That is the first discarded building. We draw again. We're going to play brush. Let's start our machine gun crew in the brush. Second building's card to die. Third building's card to die. There we go. Woods, we're going to play woods over here. Yeah, these are a little too close now, aren't they? And the Russians get to draw. All right, the Germans are first to play. We do not have 18 firepower anywhere. I am going to discard. Oh, this is a rally 4. It's really nice, but I'm going to discard this rally 4 because we got to discard something. No, you know what? I'm going to discard. I'm going to discard fire 18, the 18 there, because what's the chance of me getting an 18? Really, right now. So we're going to discard that and go, and that's what we sort of need. We sort of need a movement to start the game off. Really, we've got a lot of movement. So I am going to move up here. So that's 1. I am going to move. Can we generate 15 firepower? You sort of can, but boy, you have to get close, right? I don't love. I'm going to move here. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Maybe these guys should have stayed put. Yeah, because everything's halved. So they are going to move no matter what. Tell you what, we're going to move up the sides. So our flanks will move. These guys will anchor the center, and we're going to hope for the best there. That's another buildings card dead. I think I shuffled. That's 4 buildings cards we've seen already. The Germans are up. So we do have a movement. The Russians are moving up on either side. At a range of 1, we can actually generate 8 firepower with this group. So I think I'm pretty happy sitting them. Let's go on the weak side. We know we have a woods coming up, so we're going to move on this side. Done. So they're at a 1. We can discard a single card. Do we need 2 rallies? We don't need 2, do we? Don't we? And we get 2 cards. Okay. I mean, those are both fine cards. The Russians, can they generate 15 firepower anywhere? My answer is no, right? At a 1, they can generate 4 firepower. So what's the chance of them getting 15? Not high. I do like the gully, however. That isn't bad. We have a concealed for -1, so it gives us a little bit of proof against fire. I'm going to push these guys into a gully, so that's going to take this movement card away. So those guys hop into a ravine there, and they are done. I am not going to. I'm going to play this as open terrain, thereby canceling all of that. So they are in open terrain. I'm going to keep these cards. I'm going to draw 2 more. So they do good. They got a lot of movement. The Russians got moves. The Germans, they have good moves here. Oh, hill. We're going to climb on a hill. Yeah. So we climb up on a hill. These guys will get moving. I'm going to not discard and draw my other 2 cards. There's some fire. That's good. And some more brush. Russians' turn. Got a lot of movement. By the way, it's a 1, too, because they just moved. Oh, we got a lot of movement. A lot of freaking movement. Okay, but these guys are on a hill. So they can actually... Yeah, they can actually fire into this gully. So that's actually a little dangerous for our boys here. We do get a -2 to that fire. Um, oh, I hate to discard so many moves. Like you're not going to get 1,000 of these in a game. You're going to get a few of these. We're going to play this movement card. I think we're going to start marching up the middle. And so he goes there. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. But he's moving, but he's not. Like this guy's the dangerous guy in the middle. The middle ground, that is the dangerous group. Do we push? Oh, that could move. He's gonna move. We could push. I mean, you got to get to 4 at some point. I'm gonna, yeah, let's do it. Shit, whatever. He's at a 2, and he's moving. We draw a 2. That's what we needed. I like the concealed. I don't mind concealed either. All right. The Russians are marching forward. They are heading. The question is, are they going to walk into a big wall of shooty? So let's take this crew here. And on a 1, they can generate 5, 6, 7 firepower max. But on a 2, they can generate 6, 7, 8 firepower. They cannot yet generate 10 firepower because this guy doesn't count. So that's the one danger about having 4 guys in that middle. And so that's probably the actual issue is maybe you need like 2 more guys in this squad. And so that would absolutely lend itself to having either a 5 and a 5 or a 6 and a 4. So they cannot fire as of yet. So I am going to play woods here. So they're going to woods out. And so they are done. And we can discard 1 card. I'm going to discard the brush. And we're going to draw a 2. Oh, jeez. And nothing great. We do have a fire. But everybody's moving. So that's not super ideal. So I would like to play this as a open terrain, and that's going to cancel out the move, and they are now dropped to the ground in open terrain. No, you know what I want to do? I'm sorry. These guys are going to drop into open terrain. I'm sorry. These guys are still moving. These guys are now in open terrain. They're done. I am going to play a move on them. So that's going to move them forward to 2 because, again, they're in a gully. So at the very least, they can't be hit by the machine gun group. So a little bit of movement up. And I think that's it for the Russians. Minefields are coward cards in this scenario. Still can't generate 10. Like there still is no good way to generate 10 firepower as of yet. We've got 2s on either side of us. That is 8 on either side. Do we need, and we're all hunkered down. I'm going to discard the smoke. Oh my lord. We have a coward card. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Let's That minefield is useless. I could lay down some fire. So I am going to lay down fire. So I'm at a 1. So we have 4 firepower. That's it. That's all we have. We have 4 firepower. Firing into brush. We have 4 firepower. That is a fire 2 card. The Germans will play their ample concealment. So now it's a fire -1 card. We need to draw 4 cards. We have a total of -1, 0, 1, -1, 4. That guy is panicked. Or not panicked. Yeah, he is pinned, I should say. So, strangely enough, I mean, that at least does something. They played a conceal. They played a card. So they fired. That's it. We draw the card and we are done. Still can't do a thing. We could rally, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, we're going to rally. So we'll rally that guy. Done. And we'll burn this concealment. Draw 3 more cards. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, the small groups I don't think help. So we're going to discard. And we want to discard, we want to get rid of a bunch of stuff. That's largely the key. We want to get rid of a bunch of crap. We're going to discard wire onto them. That is, what the hell? These cards definitely come in packs, right? Like they definitely come all together. Got all the concealment. All the concealment you could ever want. The Germans need a movement card to get out of, to cut the wire. It negates the hill, effectively. We don't have anything like that. I'm going to discard that card. You get a little bit of fire. We're going to play a wall. I'm going to take that here. So we're going to wall up. Done. So they're done. And that's it. The Germans. Ooh, okay. Fire 3. I like fire 3. Fire 3 is, so 8. We can generate 8. We have to fire at one of these groups on the side. We cannot hit them. We can hit them. So we can shoot left, and that's a 6, 7, 8. We have enough. That's a 3. It is a -1, so a 2. We also have a ton of concealment. Let's make it a 0. Is that an infinite amount? So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to take this and take their total modifier. So we know the total modifier is a 0. I'm going to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And put a little 0 counter right above. So now we know we have a 0 modifier. And let's do this. 0, 2, he is pinned. 0, 1, not pinned. 3, pinned. -2, 0. These cards are discarded. That fire was reasonably effective, actually. Done. The Germans can discard 1. We're going to discard the -1. Should probably discard the rally, strangely enough. Nope, that's the last buildings card. A lot of freaking concealment going out the door. We have a rally 3. We're going to play it. That rallies these two. That group is done. I think we're okay. We'll take the 2 cards. Oh my lord. Too much rally. No, now we're getting all the rally cards. We're going to fire straight ahead. That's a fire 1. The Russians will make that. Yeah, they're going to make it a -2. Hell with it. They're just going for it. -2. So -2. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. At a -2. First guy, -2, so nothing. Second guy, 0. -3. -2. -2. There's almost no way, to... Right, they totally concealed. Those chips are probably unnecessary. No idea where that came from. Done. So we fired. At a relative range 3, we have 2, 3, 4, 5 firepower. So not great. Don't need to rally. Cannot generate fire 10 as of yet. I'm going to discard the concealed 1 and draw 2 more concealeds, of course. Done. The Russians, they can move on this one. So rally 1 or a move. Could really use some fire cards. We're going to move. That puts us at a 3. That's danger right there. More movement, more stream. I don't like it. Don't love it. All right, the Germans are now going to look, because now all of a sudden they have a range 3. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Fire 5 into this group, and that is a 5 total right now, because it's 0. They'll take a -1, so the fire is +4. So that's dangerous all of a sudden. Yeah, that may not have been prudent. So he has fire 4. Fire 4. 4 + 3 is 7. He is pinned. Nothing. 4 + 3 is 7. Pinned. 3 pinned. 4 pinned. Everybody pinned. Got a lot of pins. Going to discard Conceal 1. Going to draw 2 cards. We're going to play Rally 6. So that's sort of how you can do that without worrying about it. That's that group. I think this group moves up. So we're at a 2. Draw 3 cards. Hey, we got at least a fire. I like that. Okay. The Germans. Can they generate 15? At relative 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you're still only generating 11. Yeah, so I think this layout is sort of useless for the Germans, right? I think you've neutered yourself unnecessarily. 2, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, you're at like 7s. You still need, this is 11, this is 7. Just not enough cards that you can play. So I don't think I'd play like that again in this situation. Not losing anybody, mind you, but just not generating quite enough action. There's some action right there. The Russians get to go, but they can also generate a little bit. So let's take a quick look. So first thing, they do need to I think they're going to drop into normal terrain, open terrain. So done. They're done. Open terrain, so done again. And now we draw 2 cards. Another move and a conceal. Okay. The Germans are going to go. We can definitely generate 6. So I say we generate 6 from here is my guess. So 4, 2, yes, 7. So we're going to generate the 6 firepower to do the 3 strength attack. The Russians are going to make it a 2 strength attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So strength 2. Two plus is -3, so nothing. 0, 6. So that flips him. 2 is nothing. 2 is nothing. So we pinned one guy with a little bit of fire there. Yeah, the Germans can't generate 15 as of yet. Okay. I say we discard it and get ourselves moving here. A little bit more fire. We have some firing we can do. I don't think it matters, but we can generate 7 firepower now for sure. So we're at a range of possibly 3. At a range of 2, we generate 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 firepower. So we're going to fire into here at a 2 because they're in brush. They're going to make it a 0. So 4 cards. Yep. No, I think this is a bad. I think that's a bad position for the Germans. So this is a 0 on 4 cards. A 1, fail, a 0, a -1, and a 0. No one is impacted by that fire. I think we're going to keep, yeah. So, okay. So that's it. That's where we're at. Although I do think we move here. So now we're out of the gully, effectively. And so these 2 cards go away. And now we're to move 1. We up this to 3. And so the Russians are just sort of just hard advancing, right? And sort of, I mean, daring these guys, the Germans, to shoot them. I mean, the Germans are going to shoot them, of course. I say we shoot from here. We're going to do a fire 2. It's actually a strength 3. Do we have any conceals? We do not have any conceals now. So that is where this all goes awry. So fire strength 3, now you're going to pin the whole group, is my guess. I think this is the one where we get super lucky. So strength 3, -1, so nothing. 3 pins him. 3 pins him. Nothing. So the 2 sort of hardcore dudes sort of stay up. But we did pin a few guys. We can now discard 1. I'm going to discard the brush. I just want more fire cards. Oh my god, you got to be kidding me. Nope, nothing. We get nothing. I mean, we can generate the numbers, so I say we're just going to lay into these guys. Fire 3. Do they have a concealment to play? They do, so they're going to do a -1. So it's total -2, so this becomes a fire 1. So this is fire 1. Oh, a 6. He is pinned. Fire 1, nothing. Fire 1, nothing. That's a 2. So he is pinned. So that hampers that crew. We're going to play the hero card here for nothing. And we're going to play a movement for their action to bring them to 4. So all they need is a terrain card to show up. They get to draw 3. I'm not even going to look. I should look, actually. Nope, they got nothing. So we don't know. Okay. We're going to rally 2. So that's going to flip these guys. Done. That's that group. Ugh. I'm going to discard the wire, and I'm looking for a little bit of fire card action. No, what the hell's with these buildings? Done. Can I generate 7 firepower? And I think we're shooting at the submachine gun because, again, we've created one squad that really matters in the middle, and these other squads are just, I mean, they're helping, but they're not. And I think I can generate, at a 2, I generate 5, 6, 7, done. So we can do a fire 3, which becomes, of course, a fire 2 because of the brush. Do we have a concealment to play? We actually do not. So it's a fire 2. And this could be dangerous. So 2. Nope, that's a -2. That's a 6. He is pinned. 2 + 1 is a 3. The machine gun is pinned. And a 2 - 6 is a big negative. Nothing happened in there. But we did pin 2, and the machine gun unit is pinned. And now you got 2 sides here. I'm going to play a rally all to rally over here, just to keep putting pressure on. And that's it. 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't help me. Now, there's no terrain that's going to help me. Okay, so I think what we are going to do is I'm going to play a move to cut this wire, and I think nothing happens with the wire, right? I think, let me check. Sorry, removal. Movement card is also removed. So he removes the wire. So it's like an action. They cut the wire. Done. Wire cut. I'm going to discard the brush. I'm going to draw all fire cards. Nope, nothing at all. So now I can't see these dudes. And they're just coming forward. Friggin' Russians charging us. So I think this is what I would do. I think we're going to play a move, even though it puts us in dire peril over here. That does put us at a 4. Oops, that's a 2. That's not enough. So both of these groups have advanced far enough, and we just need to find terrain. We are going to fire at a 3. Is it enough? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We can get a fire 5 on these guys. -1 is a fire 4. -2 is a fire 2. Fire 2 on 3 cards. Fire 2 on 3 cards. That is a 4. He is pinned. That is a 4. He is pinned. That is a 2. So no pin. And largely, I just wanted to cycle a couple cards so we could see if we get a terrain, and we do not. And we have nothing. Geez. I'm going to delete the gully, I think, and look for fire cards. Well, okay. I am going to discard the rally 1 and the sniper, and we're just going to shoot over here. The sniper attacks on a 3-man group. He attacks the second guy, so he's attacking that guy. And the number is a 1, so nothing. And they do not make a sniper check. So they are done. We draw 2 cards. They cannot get the win. The Germans are desperately waiting for Godot. Godot's a fire card, by the way. And this is sort of where the Germans, that they can play and discard, and they have 5 cards. That's actually great. It sucks in this case where you're like, I just want to get rid of my whole goddamn hand and start over. I'm going to discard the wire, and I get a fire card for next time. Done. Wow. Well, we're going to shoot, obviously. We're just going to shoot over here on the left. So it's a fire 2. I have nothing. -2, though, is a 0, so it's probably pointless. But let's take it and let's see. So 0 plus 6 pins him. 0 minus 4 and 0. So we do pin a guy. So that little clinking from the machine gun is actually doing quite a bit of good. Now the only problem is I can't actually do anything. We do have some fire, though. But now everyone's pinned. So the Russians have us pinned down. So I am going to, at a range of 5, I can still generate enough power to get a 2 into them. That becomes a 3. Do they have a conceal? They do not have a conceal. So this is a fire 3 on 5 cards. So I will bet you that we will pin a ton of dudes. And keep in mind, you have to have an unpinned group, I think. Right? I think it's 4 unpinned cards. Oh, so yeah, if we can pin 2 of these guys. So this is a fire 3. -1 still pins him. +1 does not pin the second guy. -3 is a 0. -3 is a 0. +1 is a 4. So we're going to pin 2. So that was good. They held them off. We're going to discard 1. We'll discard the brush. We'll draw 2. So a little bit more fire and the terrain card that the damn Russians need. The Russians are going to rally 2. That's easy. Bam, bam. Done. They're going to fire. They're going to fire 4 over here. I don't think we have anything we can do. It's -2, so it's a fire 2 on 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. So it's a fire 2 into this group. Fire 2 plus 2 is 4. He is panicked. Private Schultz leaves the game. 2 plus -5 isn't going to do it. 2 plus 3 is 5, so we pin Bernhoff also. We got 2 cards coming. Okay. All righty. I do not know. I mean, we're literally going to fire 1, which is a fire 2 up in this group again. 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a fire 2. So it's still non-trivial. Fire, that's a fire, that's 3. Nope, 2, that's -3. Oh, that's a 1. So 2, -1, 2, -1. No. So not a ton, but he does pin a guy. And we're going to discard the wall and draw 2. What the hell? The Russians can rally 1, which they're going to do. Pop. Done. They draw a card. It's a fire card. Doesn't do them a whole hell of a bunch of good. I'm just going to draw all cards next time, I think. We have a rally 3. We are going to rally the machine gunner group. And we are done there. And we're going to discard. I mean, doesn't really matter. That one. And we're going to draw 2. Done. I think the Russians are going to discard all 3 of these movement cards and draw 3 cards, hoping to pick up any terrain at all. The Germans, okay. We're going to fire 1. Doesn't matter where from, really, from here, I suppose. It's fire 1. They don't have any whatchamacall cards, any concealments. So on fire 1, draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Move that up here. So 1 plus 4 is 6. 5, I should say. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's fire 2. So that's a 6. Pins him. 2 minus 3 is -1. Ooh, that's a 7. Pins him. That is a 5. Pins him. And that is a -1. So Sergeant Dietinger here is just holding off the Russian advance single-handedly with his machine pistol. And now we're going to discard the marsh. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh. Okay. That's fine. So what we're going to do now is we are going to discard the marsh onto these guys. I don't think they can turn the marsh down, but let me look. Marsh. Nope. Blah, blah, blah. He must decide to either accept or reject the terrain placement. If he accepts the terrain placement, play continues as normal. He doesn't want to accept that. If he rejects it, he must immediately change advanced retreat to sideways. This changes the range of the group, so that's we're gonna do. We don't want to take the -1/-1. I mean, no. We don't want to play this on them because that would make them win. Because it's even though it's -1 for them, it is also -1 against them. I misread that, so we are not doing it. We are gonna discard it instead and draw 2 cards. And he conceals? No. But fires, that's good. Okay. And now the Russians have a hill. So that's the thing. They just march onto the hill and they win the game. That's what I was sort of trying to avoid. Like I thought maybe if that was a card. So for instance, if that was a stream that the Germans drew, they could have played it. That would have caused them to go sideways, and they would have been at a 3 and not a 4. And then this group is 2 pinned. And so then the Germans could make sort of a, then next turn they start trying to gun these guys down or gun these guys and hold them off. So the Russians win twice, mostly because, like I said, this German formation, not effective. For this scenario. So I will have to tweak the formation, which I did in the first one, by the way. I did in the first scenario. And it worked-ish. A little bit better. I just sort of, in that case, the Russians snuck up on me a little bit. Like I wasn't quite paying attention. Now I know sort of what I'm shooting for in this scenario. And an aggressive march up is actually not as dangerous. I mean, it is, but you as long as you have some conceals and stuff, I think you can sometimes manage. Now, again, what I'm going to do on the next one, where are we at? So I think the next one is very simple. I really need to. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to correctly set this game up. So I'm going to do that. So if you're watching, I mean, I think that's sort of where I'm at. I don't know that I played very well. I think I played pretty damn crappily, actually, but there you go. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these up a little bit to give me room, and then I'm going to resave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think those points are fine. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't quite love that. Let me fix those points. Oops. Oh, I don't want that. Better. I can probably live with that. No, I probably can't. So let me move that one over the tiniest bit. Sure. And then the only problem is that now we are a little bit too. So I would love to move the whole shebang down. Yeah, maybe not. Oops. Yeah, okay. There, that whole thing over. Now we're going to save this as test game and overwrite it. So yeah, I sort of love the no map version. I love the no map sort of play around with this. So I think here's what we're going to do. So we are going to put this guy here and 2 more riflemen over here. And we will not have a group C. And I'm going to swap out privates. So I'm going to take this guy because his morale is low. And we're going to put a higher morale guy. Indeed, we're going to put a 5 so that the machine gun has more of a chance to continue operating effectively, right? Like that's sort of the deal. So with a 5 and 5, so definitely the machine gun has. So, but we didn't add much firepower over here, so I don't like that much. How about six and 4? And so the idea would be this is the group you're trying to advance. With these guys, as soon as you get to range 1, you have 5, 6, 7, 8 firepower at range 1. At range 2, you have 6, 7, 8, 9 firepower. Not quite there. Range 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 firepower. I don't love the machine pistols because they're so bad for so long. And that's sort of my difficulty there. Now, I could just move these guys over and move this guy up. I just have to avoid these cards. So that's sort of where we're at. I think that. So if you play up front and you've played the first introductory scenario, how do you set up the Germans? Like, how do you set them up? You need 4 guys to get there. Do you just have 2 and 2 on either flank and 8 in the middle? Like a crazy, like the middle just is a juggernaut of firepower that you're just trying to lay down machine gun fire on the opponents. And the other 2's job is to just slink up, right? Just move on up. And yeah, maybe they get to shoot once they get close or something, but their job is to sneak up. You do a 5 and 5 or a 6 and 4 like this. Um, like, how do you split up those Germans? Because that they seem to actually be at a weird, almost disadvantage here. Even though they have the better dudes, like their dudes are good, and their guns the outrange the Russians, and their guys out morale the Russians, and so on. And yet, I cannot quite stop these two flanks here. Do you sit down and try to weather one advance and just gun down a couple, like get the Russians all pinned and then charge, right? Then you make your move, kind of thing. So, like I said, if you have played this and you are an upfront expert, I would ask, you know, lend me your lend me your experience. Definitely leave a comment or two and tell me sort of how I am failing as a tactical commander. um, but yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of crap. As we go forward, we're obviously going to be reading a lot more stuff in terms of different pieces of equipment and different terrains and different tactics. Like the lateral movement and flanking fire is the next section, which we just haven't got to yet. And infiltration and close combat, we haven't got there yet. And of course, everyone's favorite flamethrowers. Let's just keep that right in mind. So yeah, I don't think I did a very good job. I think I probably harmed the Germans, but you know, but this is a learning experience. Are we going to continue this evening? I think it is. It's 10:40. We've been at this for 2+ hours. I think we are probably going to stop here after 2 rounds of this. We are getting faster. That's good. Good to know. I mean, maybe we can go one more. I think we go one more. But I need to take a break. Um, I need to take a break though. So what I'm going to do is give me 2 seconds. Do I have a message somewhere? Back in. No, I have a timer, but the timer actually says stream starts in so let's just do back in 5 minutes. I will actually be back probably in less than 5 minutes, strangely enough. But let me go. I'm going to get something to drink. I'm going to hit the restroom. I will get probably another sparkling water and maybe some rye whiskey. And then we will do one more round and see if the Germans can sort of acquit themselves a little bit better. They're going 6-4. So a little dicey in the sense that they have a whole flank that is exposed effectively, but the machine gun can probably cover it because that's considered adjacent, so it's not like it ups the range. So we're going to go with that and see sort of just how we can manage. And then we'll be back. We'll be back in 5 and do this one more time because I'm sort of interested to see how this runs. All right. So if you hung out, thanks. I appreciate it. Um, if you didn't hang out, well, good for you. I mean, you will get to sleep earlier than I will. Good, excellent. So we're gonna do one last round of upfront. Germans against the Russians. It's an open engagement. You'll see these. So I've experimented with different German. I've always kept the same Russian front, but I've experimented with some different German fronts here, and I'm gonna go with big group and the machine gun, and a smaller group on the flank. And obviously, the goal is to move this group forward. Now, the danger, of course, is that these guys die, and then you won't move anyone forward. So be it. But so far, the Russians have won twice, mostly by rushing these flanks forward. And then, largely what comes down to is it seems like you can indeed just catch your opponent in a situation where now I can see both hands. That's why I flip them every time, so that I'm not continuously aware of it and I can't plan my move around the cards as well. But obviously, seeing both hands is a disadvantage from a fair solo game perspective. But we're trying to learn the damn game, so let's do that. So they just rush up the side, and it seems like it's easy enough to effectively get a situation where your opponent just doesn't have the cards or doesn't have the ability to shoot back effectively enough to stop you from getting to your advance 4, and then you pop into a terrain and you're done. But that's just this scenario. So Germans are first. Do they have any terrain? Oh, you got to ditch buildings. Buildings gone. Buildings bad. They have no terrain, so they are done. Did the Russians have any terrain to play? They also do not have terrain. They are done. And it's the Germans' first turn. The Germans' first turn. Wow, that is not cool. But what they're going to do, first turn, we're going to discard the sniper. Done. And we're going to discard the sniper up here. And that means we draw 2 things. I almost wish, I'll tell you what I do wish, the Tabletop Simulator had the concept of like a floating deck. Like, I should make a macro for this. And that macro would essentially be, if I hit a number, I want that many cards to just show up over here. Like, from this deck, right? From the top of this deck. Like, just bam, bam, I went 3 cards here. Bam, 1, 2, 3, and done. And as soon as I hit a number, right? I could probably do that. I do this for a living sometimes. Anyway, so first thing, we need a card to determine who is attacked. And we're going to look. It's a 6-man group. The third guy's attacked, so it is Private Sokolov. And is he hit? He is not hit. And do they kill the sniper? The Russians do indeed kill the sniper. So we're going to copy this card, and we are going to put it down here. And we're going to shrink it. Their sniper is dead. That's how we're going to show it. So the sniper check is whatever card they draw, the enemy draws, you need a black card that is higher than the number they drew. Done. And we did. We got a 2. We drew a 0 for the Germans. The Russians caught the sniper. The Germans can no longer play snipers this scenario. That was their discard. Here is their draw. Let's flip everything. It is the Russians' turn. The Russians this is a cower card for the Russians, so it does nothing. I'm going to discard and discard 2. The Russians can discard their whole hand, but they can do nothing else that turn, which sort of sucks, but you can discard your whole damn hand, so that's a bonus. We got some stuff to do, so next turn, we're up. The Germans can discard 1 no matter what they do, but that doesn't do them any better. This is a cower card. We're going to discard it, and we are done. and we got a lot of rallying. So the Germans are high morale. So now we're going to start to move. So we're going to start here, and we're going to march these guys up. So when you do play a movement, we immediately move our chit, and we've advanced 1. And that is it. We are, oh, you know what? Heck with it. We're going to advance 2. No, we're going to advance 2. This guy and this guy, they're both advancing. And that is it. We cannot discard because, and I just want to make sure there's no concealments there. That's what I'm looking for. We have 14 fire. So can we generate 14 fire ever? At a range of 1, we can generate 5, 6, 7, 8. So they do have 8 firepower against this group here and this group here. 8. Not quite enough, though. I think the Germans are going to discard rally 2. And we got some fire. So that's some fire. This is a cower card. But I do want to get someone in the brush, and I will get them in the brush. This movement goes away. This group is now settled in the brush. They've hunkered down in the brush. And can this group generate? No, and these guys can generate no firepower at their range at all. In fact, they have to get to 2 to generate anything. This group can generate fire, but it already acted this turn. So we are going to draw a card, not conceal, and go. These guys have fire now, and I think we might be able to fire 1. Oh, I don't think so. 9, right? It's 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8. If we put another rifleman in there, they'd have a 9. Done. I'm going to ditch the 14 for now. That's my discard. I don't think that's any better. That's even actually a worse card for me right now. Done. Russians. We're going to discard and discard. And hell, discard. We're going to discard 3 cards and start trying to get some cards up in here. Pillboxes are cowers also. I'm not a big fan of the cowers. Literally nothing is going on. No, the groups can't get sort of a beat on each other. Everybody is being cautious. It's Russian turn. Russians, I think, are going to pull out some fire too. So they need 2 firepower. They count 4. They have 4. The machine gun gives them 4. They're going to shoot at the machine gun group out in the open. Do we have a concealment down here? We do. We're going to use the concealment. So it's fire 2. It's now a fire 0. Right? Done. We get 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a 0. So let's do a 0 here. That's a 1 on this guy, which is nothing. A 0 plus 0 is 0 on him. A 3 will pin him. 0 plus 3 is equal to or higher than his morale. We need a 5. Nope, that's a -2. Need a 4. That's a 1. Oh, we get 1 more card. We get a 2 on him, and he's a 1. So we do pin 2. With the long-range machine gun fire, 2 of the German soldiers duck behind the rocks. These guys will move into the gully. And they are done. We know we have a concealment card. Done. These guys played a concealment card, so they don't get to draw up till 5 until the end of their turn. Now, we do have a rally 3. We're just going to play it. 1, 2. And we are rallied. But that's their action. At a 1, can we... Yeah, so we got 1. So this is a 1 between these two. You add the 2 chits, 0 and 1. Their relative range then is 1. So we can generate 1 firepower against these guys. But that's a fire 1. That is almost point. Yeah, you know what? We're going to take the 0. We're taking it. I think the Russians will make it a -1 because at this point in time, we just don't want to. So we're going to take a -1. There's 6 cards coming. So if I go, see what sucks is, like I said, like I would really love to grab. So if I hit 6, I'm going to get 6 cards. I suppose I could cut the deck. There you go. I mean, that sort of works. There you go, 6. We're at a -1. So -1, that's a 2, nothing. -1 is a -4. -1, nope. I'm just going to let these go because that way I don't have to deal with this a little bit. Nope. I don't know why we can't. There we go. 2, 3. Third, nope. 0. It's still -1. I don't know what happened to all my cards. I had 4 cards and 2 buildings, I think. Yeah, okay. So none of them procced damage. So not great. 1, 2, and 3, but we do get to draw 3 cards. We only have 3 cards. The Russians, I think, are going to discard because I would like to get rid of this cower, and we will draw then 2. There are no concealed cards in that group. All right, the Germans actually have the ability to start the moving process. So I'm going to move my middle up. That's going to put me to 1. Now that's dangerous. We're going to go for that hill next turn. But I have a rally all, so that's sort of what I'm excited. And I have a hill. So no discard. We're going to draw that card. The Russians, a little nervous. But we can generate a fire 3. I'm pretty sure we're at a 2. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can generate fire 3. Do we have concealment? We do not. That is a fire 3. +1 is a fire 4. 4, 5, and 6. Fire 4 for 6 cards. Let's check it. 7. 4, nope, that's a -2. 4, that's a 3. He is pinned at least. 4 -1, nope. 4 -5, nope. 4, 5. He is also pinned. So that was an effective fire by the Russians. They are done. Can we do anything else? No, we are sort of stuck at the moment. And so we can draw our single card, which is not a conceal. Now, these guys... So can we move? So the question is, can I move into a hill with pinned guys? I know you cannot play a movement with pinned guys. Oop, I need my chat back up. I'm sorry, chat. No one said anything, of course. So there you go. So let's take a quick. Let me take a quick look. Pin, blah blah blah. Current terrain, blah. Uh, terrain. Nope, I don't know. I do not know. No terrain is present. Terrain is open ground. Blah blah blah. Changing the terrain first requires the presence of a movement card above the last occupied terrain. Simply one movement card or terrain can be placed in a single group per turn. Take 2 turns. Blah blah blah. Yes. Once a terrain card is played, all the cards beneath it are moved, and so on. Retrograde, relative range, lateral distance, blocking positions. A group may not move forward if, that's different, done. Pinmen. There we go. Pinmen don't add their firepower. That's true. A group containing a pinman may not place a movement card, although it may usually play a terrain card over an already played movement card. Individual men within a group may play movement cards directly under the discard tray for movement of a single personnel in the form of individual transfer, which we're not doing. I mean, that's fine. I'm going to assume for now. I'll have to look and see. I assume the terrain would tell me if I could not move someone onto the terrain, right? So we're going to sit on. So, okay. So what that means. So we have 2 choices. We either move onto the damn hill and then rally next time, or rally all. I could rally all because we are adjacent to that leader there. And could I play a rally all card to rally the other group, even though it's not their which one? Oh, it's an action taken by each group. Damn. Okay. So that's useless. That is darn pointless. I mean, except it would get all of them back. So at a range of 1, I have 1, 2, 3 firepower, which isn't enough to shoot them. I am moving these guys to the hill. So we're going to move them to the hill instead of rally. Because I don't want to take their action right now. So move, they jump into the hill. We cannot rally. And we really can't fire either. So we are going to discard the brush and take 2 cards because I'm really hoping. It's all good. Okay. Russian turn. Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think we're gonna have to fire again here. I think we have enough We can do a fire 3 into this group again. And it's -1, so it's fire 2. I don't think they have conceal, so they do not. So we have 6 cards. We could knock some dudes out. Fire 2. We're knocking guys out. No, that's a 0. So nothing. That is a 1. That is a 6. He panics. Wow. He panics. Now we could roll for route or whatever, but we're not. I don't really care. He panics. He's out. We should have rallied. Should have rallied. 2, 3, 4 is nothing. To 0, 0. Less than 0, actually. Oh wow! I don't know where that just went. I just lost a bunch of cards. Yeah, 1, 2. So much for me being clever and dropping those cards. That is depressing for the Germans. That's a lot of firepower all of a sudden. Lost. So the Russians have fired. We don't have 17 points of fire. In fact, we're going to drop. But we can't because we did something. So we just got to draw. It's not a whatchamacall. Done. Okay. So now, we're going to rally 2. This is pretty easy. So we're going to rally 2, 1 and 2. Done. We are going to move, I think. And put them there. And now we are going to discard. Wow, that's a great. Rally 2. 1, 2, and 3. How many buildings cards have been played so far? 3, so this one has to go. And it's brush. Okay. So, and we flip that back. It's the Russian turn. Oh, 10. I bet you we can scratch 10 firepower here. At a range of 2, we are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ugh. Womp womp. At a range, yeah, so that sucks. We cannot scrape up 10. We definitely can't scrape up 17. What's it a 1? Nothing. 0. I'm going to actually discard all of those. 1, 2, and 3. Flip, flip, and flip. That is not great. But okay. Zoop, and we flip over to there. These guys move into the brush. That's what we were hoping for. Get them in. So now at a range of 2, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So our firepower has dropped to 4. That's as good as we can do. These guys at a range of 2 are 1, 2, 3. So now we're sort of in almost the same position we were before. Like our big heavy hitters are gone. Oh, I should have rallied that group. Son of a bitch. Even I wanted to get them on the hill so bad that I screwed that up big time. And now this mission is also lost, I mean, it's not necessarily true, of course. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. So the Germans played the brush. We're going to drop this 9. And we're going to get, a concealed is good. Buildings, maybe. How many buildings are played? 4. So we need another card because the first 5 buildings go away. And it's a rally, another flipping rally, which is great. That's fine. These guys have a hero card. You really use a movement card, actually. We can use this as a move card. Okay, so these guys, we're going to use this as a movement, and they're going to move up the gully. Even though it doesn't really matter. These guys can see them on the hill. That's true. And at a 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 firepower. So it's not super great. However, having said that, we can keep the pressure up. We definitely have 3 firepower. It's -1 to here. So this is a fire 1 up to here. I think we're going to do that. So fire 1. Do we need to do anything? We have a concealed 2. We could make that very useless. Sure. So it's a -1 now. Oh, it's already, yeah, -1. So total -1. So ready? -1, -3. -1, 2. He's pinned. -1, -2. Oop, nope. -1, still a -1. And -1 is -5 total. We did pin a guy with that relatively long-range shooting text. 1 and 2. Just looking for concealment. No concealment to be found. The Germans. Looking for 7 firepower. At a range of 3, they have 2, 4, 6. They do have 7 firepower right now. And darn it, they're going to fire down into these guys. That's a fire 1 total because they still have a, right? Yeah, because they're moving, but they're a -2 still. We have a concealment. We do not have a concealment. So it's still a fire. It's a fire 4. -1 is a fire 3. So it's a fire 3 still down from the hill. Oh, wait, hold on. It's a 4, 5. 5 -2 is a 3 plus 1 is a 4. It's a fire 4 into their midst. Ugh, okay. Fire 4. Holy crow. With that shot, huh? 4 plus 4 is 8. He is killed. 4 minus 4 is 0. 4, that's a pin. 4 minus 6 is nothing. So we're going to move these guys. These becomes a 3 and not a 4-man squad. So they're moving up the gully. Shots ring down from the hill. Done. We can discard 1. We're going to discard that one. No concealment. The Russians can muster some fire. I think we're gonna. Can we rally? We cannot. Well, we can rally one guy. We're gonna play the hero right now to rally him. Done. And I think we get into the woods. So they're getting into the woods, that group. This group is going to fire with their 5 firepower. We're going to take the 2 fire, which becomes a 1 fire. Yeah. So it's fire 1 on 5 men. That's a 3, so nothing. That is a fire 1, so nothing. A fire 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 plus 3 is, wow, they got 4 men pinned right now with a really shitty fire. Yes. And they used all their cards. That's actually the best part. Oh, and we got a conceal in there. So let's keep that in mind. The Germans. Cool. Well, I'm going to use a rally 6 to pull all those guys back. Done. I'm going to push forward. With my side group. Then I get to discard one, and I'm going to put wire on them for my discard. And now I'm going to draw 1, 2, 2, and 3 cards. Just quickly looking for a conceal, and we do not have one. Russian turn. Now, the Russians got some buildings. We have a little bit of fire again. I mean, sure. I'm going to put it over here. So it is a fire 2. Fire 2. Plain old fire 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a fire 2. 2 minus 2. 4 is minus 2. 2 minus 4. 2 minus 2 is a 0. 2 is nothing. So no effect of that fire on the men. We do have a concealment card, so there's no need to see it again. So we're at a range of 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 for them. All my cards are way too high right now. Don't like it. Don't like it at all. Over there, I'm at range 3. That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It could go up to possibly 11 max. Not going to happen. So I think I'm going to take this wire and be done. And we get a concealment instead. That's probably good. We don't need to rally. We could move. We cannot move, though. So now we're sort of stuck looking for a way to move. I should keep a buildings card in my hand for sure. I feel like I'm going to discard this concealed and 1 buildings to try to get something going here. These fire cards are so high. What am I doing? So I'm going to play this to open terrain. So they're now in open terrain. So done. They're done. I'm going to discard conceal -1. Draw 2 cards. Hope to get something going. That 11 seems promising. These guys. Well, hey, I got some fire to fire. Can we put a 12 down on anybody? So this is relative range 3. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can get 12 on them. Oh my. We could fire the hell out of these guys, right? They're 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they cannot generate 6. But we can do a fire 4 on these dudes. Got a concealment? We do not have a concealment. So fire 4 on them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fire 4. -4 is 0. 4 plus 2 is 6. He is pinned. 4, that's still good. Pin. 4 minus 5, not a pin. Done. Got 2 men pinned. That fire is over. These guys are done. We draw a single card. Done. This team here. Well, can we generate 11? I don't think so, right? Range 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Yeah, we're it's time. We have nothing going. So could rally all and get them rallied. And then move these guys up. So we're going to rally all. Done. I'm going to move these guys forward. Still on the hill, but moving. They are now a relative range of 2, or their position is 2. Right? Done. And then we are going to take this card and discard it as my discard. So that leaves me with 3 cards. I don't mind the buildings, by the way, right now. And I don't mind that fire 3. The Russians. Well, we got a fire 2. We can generally generate 6 firepower. Let's do it. We're going to fire 2 to these guys. No concealment. Yep. So 5 cards at a 2. Five cards at a 2. Ooh, that's a 3, but not good enough. That's a 1, not good enough. 2, 0, nope, 2, 2, and 2 minus 3 is -1. That fire does nothing. I need a movement to clear the stupid whatchamacall. We get to draw a single card. We do get a movement. Now the Germans go, so they're going to pull a building. So that gets these guys settled in some buildings. That I feel is dangerous for the Russians. Do we have 8 at a range of 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll play hero, double this guy's firepower, and now we have enough to pop the fire 3 on our Russian folk here. We're going to go to the middle group. So it's actually just a fire 2. We get 6 cards. Fire 2 on 6 cards. Just a 2, nothing. Just a 2. Just a 2, but that pins him. Minus, -1. It's a 3 and a 1. So we pinned a single dude. Yeah, that wasn't super awesome. But hold on. No, that was this team. That was these guys right there. I will move these guys forward. And they are now at range 3. Oh, that feels super dangerous, doesn't it? But this guy's pinned, so that's a good thing. And now we get 1, 2, 3, and 4 cards. I'm quickly looking for a concealment card. There is none. Done. Okay. All right. I'm going to play a movement to kill the wire. Done. That's that group's action. Geez, do I want to play a rally 5? Holy crap. That feels like a waste to get that one guy. But I sort of have to, I want to pull that. They're going to go because I don't want these guys, like these guys are charging up on us pretty hard. I get 2 cards. We are done with the turn. Do we have a concealment? I don't feel we do. We are moving. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Oh, nope. Excuse me. I'm popping these guys into the woods. So they're now up at 3, and they're in the woods. They're moving from cover to cover. I'm going to discard that fire and draw 2 cards. And a minefield is a coward card for this scenario. We can move with that. Jeez. All right, we're going to move. So out of the woods, that becomes a 3. So we're going to press on this side. If these guys are going to press in the offense, and don't get me wrong. So now the thing is, these this is now a relative range of 4 because these guys are moving past one another. So these guys are going to press then also. So these guys are going to either shoot or move. They're not going to be able to do both. And in next round, I can pop into some buildings or something. So both these guys, he's in a good position. On a relative range of 4, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we can use this. So we can go here for 11. I think I'm going to. We have a 3. Still not enough. I'm going to use the fire 4 here. I don't know if the Russians they do not have a conceal. So we get 3 cards. Oh, that's not enough to win, though. They don't have quite enough guys to win. So that's sort of funny. This is a fire 3, actually. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. So we did pin 1 chap over there. Maybe that was a wasted shot on the... And we're going to discard that card. We're looking for a quick conceal, and we don't have one, just in case. Russians' turn to go. I feel that the Russians are going to discard the marsh, and they will discard the sniper. And we're going to target the middle group with our sniper. The sniper is going to shoot at the first guy because that's what's down here is the position. And the sniper is going to get a 3, which is a nothing. Oh, no, it's a pin. It's a pin. He pins them. He pins them. And now these guys have to draw a black 4 or above. They do not. So the Russians can still use snipers going forward. And that's their discard. And let's flip that across. Germans go. Not great. We are going to move forward. I'm pretty sure. Yes, we are. So we're going to move forward. This is going to become 3. There's no fire, though, this turn. We're going to ditch the 12. We're going to draw 2 cards. I don't mind the terrain they got. Oops, I keep flipping cards. There we go. Done. Russians. We got to, so we can pop a terrain on top of what we have. Or at a relative range 4, we can shoot 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wait, 7? And 6 is 13, 15. We can do a fire 5 on our middle crew. Did we not rally these guys at all? No, we couldn't rally them. I mean, we're going to fire 5, right? We're going to fire 5 into that middle group and try to finish that middle group a little bit off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a -2 because of the terrain, so it's a fire 3 ultimately. We have 5 cards at 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. He is panicked or whatever, routed, but whatever. He is out. Ooh. Is right? It's 3. Yeah, 3, but killed. 3 and 0. 3 and 2 is 5. He is pinned. 3 and 3 is 6. He is pinned. All of a sudden, it don't look so good. I'm going to put this second group into some buildings. We'll draw 2 cards. We might have got a conceal in there. We did get a conceal. Dang, Skip. We are in some trouble. I'm going to gully this up. So now we can't be shot. So that's where we're going there. I don't got much going on. We're going to discard 1 move and then hope for the best. A rally. Nope, no rallies. Russians. Well, crap. I mean, we're going to shoot again, and we're going to try to wipe this squad out effectively. So they have 10 guys. Once they lose 6, they are done. So we got a fire 5. It's fire 3 going into that group. I have no concealment. There's a group of 3. So we have 3 cards at 3. That's a 3. He's fine. That's a 3. He is out. That is a 1. Or a -1. So he is fine. Hell, they're in the woods and they're getting torn. Movement. So we're moving up to 4. And I think they still win next turn, is my understanding. Unless yeah, because I can't really play anything else. The Russians are looking for shooting. They're looking to shoot men. we don't have any terrain that we could stop them moving with. Like, you need something that didn't help them. So I suppose you could play open terrain. So either we discard. So let's see. If we played open terrain, what would that mean? So that would mean that they would either have to accept the open terrain. And then the problem with that is, or they'd have to retrograde move. Right? But couldn't you always do that then? So I discard open terrain onto them. Can't I always discard open terrain onto them? Forcing them to play a move card. And then, because then that would move them back to 3. Oh, you cannot open ground though. Oh, duh. Okay, well there you go. So that's easy. So everything's clear if you just read. Reading is fundamental, folks. So they cannot do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard. I'm going to discard concealed. I'm going to discard the smoke. I'm going to discard the brush. And I'm going to discard the sniper onto them. We are going to shoot the first guy. And we're looking for anything. I want to pin them. 5. He is killed in action. Sniper caps our dude here. And we have 5 killed. The Germans might lose because they break effectively here. We have to draw a 6. A black 6 to kill the sniper. We do not. And the Russians get 4 cards. They have a concealment if they need it. So I'm going to move to the wall because it feels like I got to move to the wall. But that's only 3 cards of the 4 needed to be at that position. So the Germans still do not win. I'm going to play rally over here, so these guys are rallied. I'm going to discard that because it's unlikely I get that much firepower at this juncture. We can rally rally. And a lot of firing going on here. The Russians. I'm going to play... Oh, I can discard fire, right? Yeah. Or we can just take pot shots at them, which has worked so far up until now. Or we can move. And so we're going to move, and that's what we're going to start doing. So these guys are just going to slowly, inexorably march forward, right? So they're like, okay, boys. I mean, we've done it. We got them. Let's get our crap going forward. And that's a concealment. So now they even have a concealment. Now, that might have been a bad move, though, because the Germans now are going to move this team. and discard this card, and they're looking for any terrain. I think they have a concealment. No, they cannot use that concealment, so that is not their concealment. These guys are going to, I think they can generate the 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. They're going to fire 3 here. These guys are at a -1, so that is really a fire 2. They get 2 cards at a fire 2. I love the fact the sniper actually saved the game for the Russians. So fire 2, that's a 2, nothing. Fire 2 is nothing. So no one is stopped by that. And we do not have any more stuff, so we're going to... We have concealment cards, so we know that. At a range 4, we have 1, 2, 3, we have 7. We have 7 freaking points. At a range of 4, which is what these guys are at. We have 7 points. We can at least still generate... Oh, we can generate fire 2. So with 7 firepower, we're generating fire 2 up here, and that is a 0. So it's totally fire 2. The Russians have a concealment, which they will use. It's -3. So it's now fire -1. 6 cards at -1. What do you think the chances are there? Not super high. Six cards, -1. That's a -1, so nothing. That's a 0. This is the one we can do. Nope, that's -2. -1 is nothing. -1. No. That fire is indeed pointless. We are going to discard the rally 1, and we're going to draw 3 cards. Hopefully, they don't get a card yet. We can't really do much with our stuff here. I'm going to discard card 18. I'm going to discard the wire onto these guys. Nope, I will just move. We are going to, like I said, inexorably move ahead. No concealment. You know what? I don't know if I... Nope, they were at a 2, so now they're at a 3, I suppose. Is that true? Yeah, let's go with that. We're going to move them into brush. Done. Discard. We're gonna still fire. We're gonna do what we can do here. We're at a 6, so that is a 4. We have 7 firepower. Not quite enough. It's just a fire 1 into nothing. Do you have a conceal? You don't. So fire 1, 6 cards. That actually could pin a couple guys, though, if we get lucky. Here's the 6 cards. Fire 1. That's a 2. Nothing on him. That's a 1 on him. Ooh, that is a 5. He is pinned. That is a less than 1. That is a 1. That is a 4, but not enough. So we did pin one guy. It's the machine gunner, so that hampers the firepoweredness of them. And now they get to 4, 5. No concealment. The Germans have a lot of concealment, so done. They're going to use that in any turn. We have literally nothing going on. All freaking terrain. I'm going to discard 2. Okay, now we're stuck a little bit. I don't think the Germans can do 8. They can't. They cannot do 8. They can do 7, but not 8. We're going to discard this. Yeah, that card done. They're just looking for a move. Yeah, we're going to fire, sure. Let's kill one guy. So at a 4, we have 2. We have a. So we're firing 1 into a. Oh, I don't like that. We're gonna. I don't like any of that. Strangely enough, we're gonna fire over here. We're firing 1 into a 0, effectively. So it's fire 0. Do we have concealment? We do. Hell, fire -1. So sort of pointless, maybe. -1. You're looking for that lucky shot. Nope. That is nothing. So nothing happens. We were just maybe hoping to ping them a little bit. Didn't work out, but we do get a concealment. That could be useful. They played a concealment. We have got to. So we're gonna. I'm ditching this. I'm looking for a movement. That is so decidedly unhelpful, as is for the Germans. The Russians. The Russians will move into buildings. So that's their action up there. They draw a card and they have concealment, but they had that before. We're going to discard that guy. That's great. Come on, the Russians have to know. They can't do nothing. We got nothing. Nothing. We are going to I'm going to discard the entire hand, but for the concealed 2. 1, 2, and 3. I just want anything but a pack of terrains I can't use. We are going to fire, of course. No reason not to fire. At a range of 5, we actually have an 8 firepower. So against these guys, we have an 8. Against these guys, a lot less. We have a 3. But that's enough to generate a 1. So that's a 1. -1. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're not going to take rando casualties. So this is a -1 on 5 cards. So -1. Minus a lot. 0, nothing, and nothing. Yeah, these small hits are just not going to do it. The Germans will discard. We're going to discard a rally 1. We do not have a concealment. I mean, the gully's sort of nice, but whatever. Do we have a movement card? No. See, that's the issue. So we're going to discard again. We're going to discard this fire 1 and discard the sniper onto this group. The sniper is going to attack the first guy. And we're looking for a big 6. No, we get a 1, so nothing happens. The group does not see the sniper. Snipers are still in play for the Russians. The Russians get to draw 3. Oh, a lot of fire. So that's going to be good for the Russians. The Germans literally have nothing going on. They're going to drop a... They'll ditch the woods and draw, and we get a fire 14. Not super useful, to be honest. But now the Russians are going to step up here. So at a 5, we can bracket 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 firepower. So we're going to. And we are going to do it. We're going to do it into here. So -1. Over here, they're a 4. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So they can't quite muster. They can muster this, the fire 4, but they can't muster. Oh, they can muster a fire 5. We're going to do that. We're shooting this way. First off, you get 3 draws. Secondly, it is a 0 this direction as opposed to a -1. So it is a fire 5. The Germans could use a conceal. They do not have one. So let's see what this fire 5 does. 1, 2, and 3. Does this end it? Fire 5, 6, 7. He's pinned but not killed. 5 minus 3 is 2. Nothing. 5, minus 2 is a 3. He is pinned but not killed. That is the fire. Now, over here, can we muster 8 at a range of 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, absolutely. So we're going to fire 4 at a -1. Fire 4 -1 is a 3. So fire 3 is a 4. He panics. And that's going to break the Germans. Fire 3, nope, that's a nothing. Fire 3 -3 is nothing. So the Germans break under heavy fire, and that ends the game. I won. The Russians swept. That doesn't feel right. But, you know, the Russian winner, man. Don't never engage in a land war in Asia in the winter. Done. Easy. And that's it. That was up front. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't cringe too much at my mistakes. Please post and tell me how you liked it. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me what you would like to see in the future. I will talk to you all later. Please have a good night. And hopefully join us Friday. We're going to have our after action report for our Rune Bearer campaign. And I think that's it. So have a good one, guys. Alfred, thanks for joining me.